Hello everyone, let's get going on our math. We're going to correct our math lesson 3.7 and then we're going to start talking about our review, and on Friday we're going to go over our assessment. I'm going to give you we're going to work on all the answers, and then your quiz on Friday is going to be based on the answers. So you'll want to do that video with me, do the whole thing, because I'm going to be asking specific questions about the answers. So that will be for tomorrow, for Friday. But today we are going to correct lesson 3.7. And then we are going to do our 3.7 lesson in our interactive notebook. All right. So if you will grab your enVision workbook and go to page 149, and I'm going to go get the camera. So I'll be right there. Well, maybe I'll be right there. Let's see. Come on. She doesn't want to open today. Oh, there we go. Oh, I pushed the button too many times, I think. All right, there we go. All right. Page 149. So we did the odds yesterday. So we're going to correct those answers. All right, it says, find the product of 4 times 2 times 3 two different ways. One way would be put the parentheses around the first two numbers, 4 times 2, which equals 8, times 3. 8 times 3 is 24. Another way to do the same problem is we put the parentheses over the last two numbers. 2 times 3 is 6. 4 times 6 is 24. Okay, they kept the same numbers in both problems. We just solved one part of them differently on each problem, but we came up with the same product. All right, number 3. It says find each product. You may draw a picture to help. So we can mix it up depending on which way you did it. I'm going to try to write both ways so that it'll help, but we'll see how much room we have. Let's give it a try on the first one. All right, 2 times 3 times 5. So if I put my parentheses around the 3 and the 5 on this one, then it's 2 times 3 times 5, which is 15, which equals 30. I can also do 2 times 3 times 5. 2 times 3 is 6, times 5 equals 30. 30 and 30, so I've got it right. Okay. If you need to get anything written down, go ahead and get it written down. Hopefully you've got this finished. That's what we're supposed to have done yesterday, so that you can correct with me. And the reason we correct it together is that way if you have any mistakes or misunderstandings, hopefully we can solve them, get them figured out. Okay? All right. 4 times 2 times 7. If I put my parentheses around the 4 and the 2, 4 times 2 is 8 times 7. Now, I already know what 8 times 7 is, but if you had to get a piece of scratch paper to work it out, you could do that. Your answer should be 56. Okay? Let's try it the other way. 4 times 2 times 7, which is 4 times 2 times 7 is 14. 14 times 4 is 56. I've got that right. All right, let's go to number 7. 2 times 4 times 5. It's right here. 4 times 5 is 20. 2 times 20 is 40. Let's try it this way. 2 times 4 times 5. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 5 is 40. They're equal. Alrighty. Number 11. 6 times 1 is 6. Times 5 is 30. if we do 6 times 1 times 5, that would equal 6 times 5 equals 30. Okay. And then, I skipped one, didn't I? Look at that. All right, 4 times 1. Were you already thinking that? Like, Mrs. Martinez, if you could scream through the video, you forgot one. 4 times 1 is 4 times 5 equals 20. 4 times 1 times 5. 4 times, this would be 5 equals 20. Let's put the parentheses here for this one. 4 times 2 times 6 is 12, and 12 times 4 is 48. Let's try it this way. 4 times 2 times 6. 4 times 2 is 8, times 6 is 48. And one more. 2 times 2 is 4, times 5 equals 20. 2 times 5 is 2 times 10 equals 20. All right, so there's all of our problems on page 149. If you need a little bit of time to write any of them or to fix any of them, would you please push pause right now? And then when you're finished, unpause and you'll be right with me on the next page, okay? Go ahead and push pause if you need to. All right, page 150. Number 17. Mrs. Stokes bought 3 packages of fruit juice. Each package has 2 rows with 6 boxes in each row. How many boxes of fruit juice did Mrs. Stokes buy? Use equations to solve. So we have 3 of them. And in the 3, there are 2 rows with 6 in each row. Okay? So let's do 3 times 2 times 6. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Okay? Another way we could do it, 3 times 2 times 6. We could do 3 times 2 times 6. That's 3 times 2 times 6 is 12, which equals 36. Juice boxes. Okay. Let's go to number 19. Oh, let me hold on to that in case you need to pause it. All right. If you need to pause it, go ahead and do that and then come right back when we'll do number 19 together. All right, number 19 says, Matt has a block. He uses one of the flat surfaces of the block to trace a triangle. What type of solid figure is Matt's block? Okay, so if he is using a block, that would be, I can't really draw a very good one, but if it's, a container, a block, and he's doing just one triangle of it, what type of solid figure is Matt's block going to be? So he's going to have a square block to do that. That way, that it's like a triangle. So we have a triangle there and there. All right. Number 21. Amy has 3 bags of marbles, and Ron has 2 bags of marbles. There are 6 marbles in each of their bags. How many marbles do they have in all? How do you know? Okay. So Amy has 3 bags of marbles, and there are 6 marbles in each bag. This is Amy. I'm going to put an A by her name, okay? 3 times 6 is 18. Ron has 2 bags of marbles, and there are 6 marbles in each bag. So that makes 12. We're going to have to add them together. 8 plus 2 is 10. Carry 1. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so how many marbles do they have in all? 30 marbles in all. Okay. Go ahead and push pause if you need to. All right, number 23. Number 23. Write numbers to make the equations correct. 8 times 2 times 6. 8 times 2 would be 16. Oh, I'm so sorry. I made that wrong. Cross this out. We can flip it this way. 8 times 2 times 4. Okay, sorry about that. 8 times 2 is 16 times 4 equals 64. If we solve it this way, 8 times 2 times 4, which is 8, equals 64. All right, so make sure you have everything on this page finished on your paper. Okay, hopefully you can see all of that. All right. Oh, excuse me, I must sneeze. Let's go to, I'm going to skip lesson 8. Okay, and we're going to go to page 158. And we're going to do the vocabulary page really quick, and then we'll do our reteaching page. That way tomorrow we can do our test together, okay? So it says match the example to the term. 5 times 0 equals 0 times 5. Which one of these is that property? Associative or the grouping property, the commutative property, the distributive property, or the identity property? 5 times 0 equals 0 times 5. Did you say? Okay, 1 second here, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I got an interruption for a moment there. All right. Here we go. Back at it. All right, so 5 times 0 is equal to 0 times 5. That is the commutative property, isn't it? Shall I get a little closer? Okay. 3 times 8 plus 1 times 8 is equal to 4 times 8. We've done a lot of those. That one's the distributive property. Okay, 6 times 2 is equal to 6 times 2 times 2. That would be the one we just learned, the associative. We can group them and still get the same answer. Okay, let me make sure you can see that this goes here. That one goes down there. Okay, 7 times 1 is 7. That's the identity property. All right. So some terms we've talked about. Associative property is also called the grouping property. That's where we just group one side of the equation or the other. We still get the same answer. The commutative property, we can flip the factors around and they'll still be the same answer. The distributive property, where we can break it into 2 smaller multiplication problems and then add the answers back. The identity 1 property is anything times 1 will be that number. We know that a factor is one of the 2 numbers or more numbers that are multiplied together. Multiple means it's a number that would be the product of a particular number. Like if you're skip counting by 2, your multiples of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on. Product is what we call the answer to a multiplication problem, and the zero property of multiplication is anything times 0 is 0. So we've learned all of those. Look how much you guys have learned this year. So much. We're going to do true or false on the next 4 problems. 3 and 8 are multiples of 24. 3 times 8 equals 24. So is that a multiple? Yes. Number 6, you can multiply factors in any order. True or false? Well, we know this guy right here says, yes, you can do that, so that's true. The product of 0 and any number is that number. So meaning 0 times 8 equals 8. Is that correct? No, it's false. 0 times any number is 0. All right. Number 8, there are 3 factors in the equation. 5 times 3 times 2 equals 30. There are 3 factors. 1, 2, 3. True. All right. We're going to go to number 9. Explain how to use 8 times 5 equals 40 to find 8 times 6. Use at least 2 terms from the word list in your explanation. All right, first let's do the problem. 8 times 5 equals 40, and we need to find 8 times 6. All right, so 5 is 1 away from 6, right? So we can do 8 times 5, and we already know that's 40, plus 1 times 8, which is 8, equals 48. So 8 times 6 equals 48. All right, we're going to use at least 2 terms from the word list to do our explanation. All right, we can say using distributive. Oh, you can't see me. Property. I can use the factors for 8 times 5 and add the factors 1 times 8 to equal the product 48. All right, we've used several. So I'm going to go ahead and underline distributive property. That's 1 from up here that we've done. Factors, that's another we've done. And product, that's another word from the list. I've checked off those 3. So I'm going to let you get that copied down. Okay, go ahead and pause that if you're still writing. And then I'm going to start over here on the reteaching. Now remember, on the reteaching, we just do this side for the problems, and this side is helping us, okay? So I'm going to read set A. You can break an array into 2 smaller arrays. So this is one huge array. They broke into 2 smaller ones. You can write an unknown fact as the sum of 2 known facts, all right? So we may not know what 4 times 8 is, but we can break up the 8 times 3 plus the 8 times 1. Remember that the distributive property says that a multiplication fact can be broken apart or broken down into the sum of 2 other multiplication facts. All right, so we're going to find the missing value. If this is 2 times 4 and this is 2 times 4, 4 is this one, The same, the same. So we need to add this and this together, and that makes 4. 6 times 5 is equal to a 4 times 5, so the 5's stay the same. And we're taking 6 minus 4 is 2, because 4 plus 2 equals 6. Okay? Set B, find 3 times 4. You can use a 2's fact to help multiply by 3. 3 times 4 can be broken down into a 2 times 4 equals 8, plus a 1 times 4 equals 4. 8 plus 4 is 12. You can also find 4's facts. You can break down the 4 and make it 3 times 2 plus 3 times 2, which is 6 plus 6 is 12. Remember that to find a 3's fact, add 2's facts and a 1's fact. To find a 4's fact, double the product of a 2's fact. So these are the lessons we've done already. So if we have 3 times 7, if we don't know the answer to that, we can do a 2 times 7 plus a 1 times 7, which is equal to 14 plus 7, which is 21. Okay. Let's do, let's skip down and do this one, 3 times 8. Let's break up the 8. We'll do 3 times 4 plus 3 times 4 is equal to, 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12. And if we add them together, we get 24. Let's break down this 10 times 4. 5 times 4. So if I have 5, 5 plus what will make 10? Plus 5 times 4. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 5 times 4 is 20. 20 plus 20 is 40. Okay, if you want to practice with the others, you can. I'm not going to cover those right now, though. I'm just going to do a few of them with you. So if you need to copy those down, go ahead and push pause. Set C. You can use known facts to help multiply. Find 6 times 9. 6 times 9 can be broken into a 5 times 9 plus a 1 times 9. 5 times 9 makes 45. 1 times 9 makes 9. 45 plus 9 will be 54. Okay, breaking down this one. 7 times 4 equals a 5 times 4 plus a 2 times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. 2 times 4 is 8. 20 plus 8 equals 28. You guys have come a long way from the very first lesson, which I know was confusing. So I'm hoping that by this time it's getting a little bit easier, but we don't have to be perfect at this yet. We're just learning it. So practice will make it better. Remember that you can break a multiplication problem into 2 smaller problems. Okay, so let's do 7 times 9. Okay, we're going to do 7 times 9. So we can break that into a 4 times 9 plus, and what's 4? 4 plus what will make 7? A 3 times 9. 4 times 9, we can do our 9's trick, and it will show us that it's 36. And a 3 times 9 is 27. Okay, so we can add those together. 36 and 27 would be 3, carry 1, 6, 63. Let's do number 3. 7 times 7. We can break that 7 into a 5 and a 2. So if we do 5 times 7 plus 2 times 7. A 5 times 7 would be easy, right? Because we can skip count by 5. So that would be 35 plus 2 times 7 is 14. Now we add 35 and 14 together. 5 plus 4 is 9. 1 plus 3 is 4. 49. Let's do number 7. So if you need to get this copy down, go ahead and get this copy down. 5 times 7, I would break, or 10 times 7, I would break into 5s. I would do a 5 times 7, because I know that's an easier one to do, and a 5 times 7. 5 times 7 is, we can do this way, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 35, and it's the same problem, so this one's 35. And we can add the 5s. 5 plus 5 is 10, so we put a 0 here and carry the 1. 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. So the answer is 70. All right, go ahead and pause if you need to get any of this written down. And when you're finished, we're going to be on page 160. Okay, just have 3 sections left. All right, on D, it says, find 8 times 9. You can use 2's facts. 8 times 9 is equal to 2 times 9 plus 2 times 9 plus 2 times 9 plus 2 times 9. 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 9 is 18. And 2 times 9 is 18. So we can add the 18s together and we'll get 72. You can use skip counting as well and skip count by 8 9 times. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72. I'm trying to use the tune of the Number Rock song for 8s. So practicing that one will help you with your math facts too. Remember to use patterns, known facts, or skip counting to find products. All right, let's do a variety of them. All right, so let's do 1 and 4 and 6 and 7. All right. Number 1 says 8 times 6. So if I can break that 8 into a 4 times 6 plus a 4 times 6. 4 times 6 is 24 plus 24. 4 plus 4 is 8. 2 plus 2 is 4. And that is the correct answer, 48. All right, number 4. 8 times 10. Well, the 10, we can break that down into 5s, and skip counting by 5 is easy, remember? So 8 times 5 plus 8 times 5. If we skip count by 5 8 times, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. We've got 40 plus 40. 0 plus 0 is 0, and 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay, number 6, 0 times 8. What do we know about the 0 property? Anything times 0 will be 0. And the last one, 8 times 5. Let's do skip counting. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Go ahead and make sure you have all of that written down for section D. Section E says you can use the associative property to group the factors. The product does not change. So we can take 4 times 2 times 2 and do 4 times 2 times 2, and we always solve what's in the parentheses first. So 2 times 2 would be 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. We can do it another way. Same numbers, 4 times 2 times 2. 4 times 2, we solve what's in the parentheses first, 8 times 2. 8 times 2 is 16. So let's try it on this one. We only have 3, so we'll do all 3 of them. Remember that you can use properties to write unknown facts as known facts. Show how you grouped the factors. All right, so we have 4 times 5 times 2 is equal to, we can do 4 times 5 times 2, 4 times, oh, that's 2. 2. 4 times 5 is 20, and 20 times 2 equals 40. So 20 times 2 equals 40. I guess since there's only room for 1, we don't really need to write it below. Let's try it the right way on the next one. Okay. Ooh, I see some 3s. I could rewrite these 3s and rewrite this problem as 3 times 3 times 7. I have all the numbers there. 3 times 3 is equal to 9. And 9 times 7, I can do my 9s trick to put down that it'll be 63. Well, let's put the parentheses around this part right here. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 10 is 50. Okay, go ahead and get that written down. Okay, we're going to move to set F. It says, think about these questions to help you use repeated reasoning. Are any calculations repeated? Can I generalize from examples? What shortcuts do I notice? So let's take a look here. It says, remember that patterns can help you make a generalization, which means like I know what this is going to be about. So what is repeated in these equations? Use what you see to make a generalization. It says 6 times 6 is equal to 6 times 3 plus 6 times 3 equals 18 plus 18 equals 36. 7 times 6 can be broken into 7 times 3 plus 7 times 3, which is 21 plus 21 equals 42. 8 times 6 can be broken into 8 times 3 plus 8 times 3, which equals 24 plus 24 is 48. Okay, so what patterns do we see? What can we say about these patterns? Okay. What is repeated in these equations? All right. We used known facts to solve unknown facts. What that means is, and we may already know this, but this could end up being a huge problem, and we may not know this. This is the unknown part, but what we do know is we know these known facts, smaller ones. Okay, go ahead and get that written down. Number 2 says, solve this equation to test whether your generalization is true. Okay, 10 times 6 is equal to, okay, we could do 10 times 6 is equal to 5 times 6 and 5 times 6, because we know 5s, we can skip count by 5 easy. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 plus 30 equals 60. All right, make sure you have everything written down. Go back if you need to. We're going to do our assessment tomorrow, and we're going to do it together. And then the questions for your quiz that day are going to be specific things that I'm going to ask about this assessment. So you will have to finish the assessment with me to be able to answer the questions, okay? All right, for now, we're going to put our enVision book away, and we're going to grab out our envelope and our notebook. That's a reading notebook. We don't want a reading notebook. We want a math notebook. Okay? And in our plastic folder, we're going to find our math pages. I have a lot of pages in here. I don't know about you. But I have a lot, so I hope you have some too. All right, I'm looking for lesson 3. Okay, and we'll try to get lesson 8 done. And then we'll put the others back. All right. So we've got lesson 3 and topic 3, lesson 7, topic 3, lesson 8. We're going to go ahead and be cutting out these shapes here. We're going to cut out these shapes here. So I'm going to put on some music for us to do some cutting while you go ahead and cut them out. So go ahead and get your scissors and get started cutting. And I'm going to grab our song for cutting to make it a little bit more enjoyable. Alrighty. I found us some music. We're going to go ahead and start cutting. Like a hybrid, babe, on the Okay, and I know this one doesn't have lines, but just cut right around the outside of it like this. Don't get too close to the wheels because we want to be able to write around them. So you want to cut it out like that. Okay, I'm going to lay it all out so you can see what it's supposed to look like. Okay. Okay, I'm going to give you to the end of this song, and then we're going to go ahead and get started.
Mama raised me good, Mama raised me right. Mama said, do what you want, say prayers tonight. And I'm saying that, cause I'm so devout. So the love runs out, so the love runs out. I got my mind made up, and I can't let go. I'm going every second till this is my soul. I'll be running, I'll be running, till the love runs out. You're burning sun, I'll be bright and black. It's making me run. I got my mind made up, and I can't let go. I'm going every second till this is my soul. I'll be running, till the love runs out, till the love runs out. And we'll start a fire, and we'll shut it down, till the love runs out, till the love runs out. I'll be light, you're burning sun, I'll be the bright and black. It's making you run away, alright, 'cause we'll work it out, yeah, we'll work it out. And we'll start a fire, and we'll shut it down, till the love runs out, till the love runs out, till the love runs out.
All right.
When I met
So,
you in the sun,
everything should be cut out right now.
we fell in love.
We're going to pause that. All right. Let's go back to the camera. All right. So what we have is we should have 3 pages cut out of our fact wheels. 1, 2, and 3. I just cut around them, kind of made them a square so we can write the answers around the outside. So set those to the side. Don't need those yet. And then we have 3-7. And we have these 2 cut separately that we're going to be folding in half backwards. So we want to be able to fold it, line it up, and crease it so that we can write our answer on the inside like that. All right. And then you have this page cut out. This is the 3-8. So let's start with 3-7. I know this video today is going to be kind of long. I'll try to get this finished as soon as we can. Before we get started, we want to cut off this bottom part because these are our answers right here. So we do have one last little thing to cut. This shouldn't take too long. I just didn't want the little pieces to get lost in all the cutting. Okay. So if you need to pause the video right now to get these cut out, please go ahead and pause. Okay. Those are all of my numbers. And then in my Math Interactive Notebook, we have not skipped any pages. Every single page, front and back, front and back, front and back of everything. So on the back of our commutative property that we did the other day, we're going to glue in this page. I'm going to put it way up to the top. Can you guys do that too? Put it up to the top. And the reason is because then we can glue those little green ones down at the bottom. So we'll take the red and we're going to glue that one on the next page at the top. Now don't go above the book, but just go to the top of, the page. Like so. I'm going to go up and glue it in, so that I have just a little bit of room at the top, and then I have room at the bottom here, I think. Let's see. I put this one here, and that one there maybe. If we can do that. Don't glue these in yet. We'll just hold on to those. Okay. If you're still gluing, go ahead and push pause. And we're going to get started. All right. It says, I can use the associative property of multiplication to group 3 factors and then multiply. All right. So we have 7 times 4 times 2 is equal to 7 times 4 times what? What number would we glue there? You have the choices of 3, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 7 times 4 times 2 and 7 times 4 times what number? 2, right? Okay. So solving them, 7 times 8 and 24 times 2 would be what answer? Oh, goodness, guys, look what I did. Oh, I glued it down already. Well, the teacher didn't pay attention here. We're going to have to cross these answers out and write them. All right, let's solve. 7 times 8 and 28 times 2. 7 times 8 is equal to 56. 28 times 2 is equal to 56. So 56 should go right here. Let's write a big 5, 6. Mrs. Martinez is in a hurry because there's so much to do. That doesn't pay off, does it, to be in a hurry sometimes? Now we have to fix this. I was supposed to cut these out so we would glue the answer in, but now I have to make do this way. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. If you didn't do that wrong, then maybe you can get that figured out the nice way. 5 times 2 times 3 is equal to 5 times 2 times, what number are we missing? We're missing the 3. Okay, so what is 5 times 6? 5 times 6 equals 30. And 10 times 3, 5 times 6, equals 30. So our answer here would be 30. What a messy page I've done. All right. 2 times 7 times 1. 2 times 7 times 1. Put that in there. And then we have 2 times 7, or 2 times 7 times 1, which is 7, is equal to 14. 14 times 1 is equal to 14. So this answer should be 14. Okay. 3 times 3 times 6. 3 times 3 times 6. Okay. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 18 would be 4. 8 times 3 is 4, and then 64. This is 9. Oh, I did this wrong. 54. And 6 is 54. I'm going to write 54. Two times 7 equals 2 times 2 times 7. All right, we don't need 4 and 5. We can toss those in our garbage pile. All right, 2 times 4 is 14. 2 times 14 is 28. 2 times 4, 2 is 4. 4 times 7 is 28. So this is 28. Oh, Mrs. Martinez made a mess of that page. Goodness sakes. All right, pause if you need a minute to get all of that figured out. All right, we're going to start on 3-8. I can use repeated reasoning with known facts to make generalizations when multiplying. I used factors to find these products. 9 times 5 is equal to 4 times 5 plus 5 times 5. 4 and 5 make 9. 7 times 9 is equal to 7 times 4 plus 7 times 5. They broke up the 9 into a 4 and a 5. 9 times 3 is equal to 4 times 3 plus 5 times 3. 5 and 4 make 9. So here's my generalization about facts. All right. I can break apart a multiplication problem Okay, go ahead and get that far, and then I'll wait. Okay. I can break apart a multiplication problem into smaller problems that I know better. Okay? So we can break these bigger problems into smaller ones that we know better. We can know 4 times 3 a little easier and 5 times 3. Okay, go ahead and get that written down. Okay. So we're going to test it out, it says. Test it out. 9 times 6. We can break down the 9 and make that a little easier. Let's break it down into a 5 and a 4. 5 and 4 make 9. We still keep the 6 in each group. So 5 times 6 is 30 plus 4 times 6 is 24. So we can add them together. 4 plus 0 is 4. 2 plus 3 is 5. So 9 times 6 is 54. Okay, can you see that? It's kind of a glare. Let's see if I can fix the glare. There we go. All right, based on time, because I'm looking at what time it is, I'm going to have us go to the next page. And we're just going to get some pages glued in. All right, it doesn't matter which one you do first. So if you want to glue in the orange one, the yellow one, the blue one, it doesn't matter which one you glue in first. You can choose which one you want to do first. Okay. Okay, glue in the next one on the next page. Okay, now we're going to turn the page and glue this last one in. Okay, so we have these glued in, and then let's take, we'll just put a little glue on the back of distributive property. And put it right down there so that I can always open it and write on both sides. Put a little bit of glue here. Oh, lost my glue, didn't I? All right. So before we go, let's make sure that we have our things glued in for next time. Try to roll my glue stick down. Okay. So today we did page 3.7 and 3.8, and we finished both of those. So if you need to write anything down, pause it. Please forgive me for my mistakes there. And then we glued in our fact wheels, distributive property at the bottom, associative property at the bottom, and then our blue fact wheels. All right, so we're going to wait and do these tomorrow. I think we've done a long math lesson today. So go ahead and make sure you've done your corrections in your enVision workbook for our lesson. Page 149 and 150. And then we skipped lesson 8, and we just did our vocabulary review and our reteaching pages that we got done today. We did a lot. All right, so tomorrow we will finish these other pages and our assessment together. All right. Thank you guys for working so hard with me. That was a lot to do. So I think that you should probably, go take a little break from working that hard. So I appreciate that. Thank you guys. And if you haven't listened to the read aloud already, go ahead and listen to the read aloud. And I will see you tomorrow.